DNVR Broncos live, coming to you from Studio A here at the DNVR bar, where the A stands for Alabama.
Roll Tide, baby.
Wait, what?
We're talking about Jerry Jeudy. He's from Alabama.
Oh,
I didn't pick
okay.
it up either.
I know. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what does Alabama have to do with today?
I was thinking Jerry Jeudy.
Yep. No, you were right.
Yeah.
I think starting tomorrow, we all want to be in Alabama, though, instead of Colorado for 48 hours.
I'm going to stick with Colorado.
No, dude. No, you're not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Tomorrow,
freezing in the whole country.
tomorrow,
It
not
is.
in Alabama.
Yeah, probably. It's freezing in Florida.
Probably not. Probably not this freezing. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. it's 50 degrees. Tomorrow at midnight it's negative 10 degrees.
But you'll be
Incredible.
inside.
Not the next day when it's
That is true.
negatives as the high.
You'll have to go from your house to your car, from your car to the inside the practice facility.
That's tough. That's gonna be tough, man. When it's cold, when it's
Yep.
when it's cold, it's tough. What is it when it's like freezing to death cold?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
deadly.
It is going to be really cold, but it's going to be really cold everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
unless you want to go to, like, I don't know, Australia. It's summer there.
That's very true. Did you guys see the temperatures on Saturday for kickoffs across the NFL?
No.
Oh.
It's like all 0 and negative.
Jeez.
It's going to be like freaky cold home in Montana, too. Like, it's bad. It gets down to like negative 30.
I think
and
I
they
saw
throw the wind chill
somewhere
on.
is going to have, like, negative 50 wind chill.
Yeah.
My goodness, that is wild. Then the Broncos playing in LA, so I guess they get a break of that.
Yeah. It's true.
You know, Alabama's a good question for those, though. Because, like, I don't know. Would you rather spend time, like, in Colorado or Florida or, like, Arizona? It's like, yeah, I mean, those are good places. Like, they're nice and warm, vacation. But, like, Alabama, warm, but I don't necessarily want to be there, you know? So it is, like, a better conversation.
Tuscaloosa, definitely a cool time for 48 hours.
So is Mobile.
Really?
It's true. That's true. Let's see. Oh, come on. Thursday when it's like negative 10 here, it's 57 in Tuscaloosa.
wow.
Okay. It's supposed to be, like, sub 30 in Florida. So
Wow.
Tuscaloosa is getting maybe it's northern Florida.
Maybe, although that would be probably the same like latitude or longitude as Alabama.
Yeah.
True.
So I think, I don't know.
We should start a weather podcast.
This is it. Welcome.
There we go, yeah.
And it's presented by
DNVR
DraftKings Sportsbook, right?
Presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. You can bet on the weather at DraftKings. They
can.
have
Can
wacky
you
weather
really?
Wednesdays. You
Yep.
just get in on a little poll where you take the over/under on temperatures around the country.
It's
Couldn't
fun.
you cheat?
No, it's for the next day.
Yeah, you can
So you
look at
guess
the
what
forecast.
the high's gonna be.
but
Right.
Forecasts aren't always right.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's probably like
it's like-
over under the
It's
forecast
like you
number.
can go to ESPN and see what the experts are predicting in the games, but you're not always they're not going to be
And
right.
wait, are you
true.
actually betting money on this?
No, it's a free poll.
Okay. Wow.
Or a
That's
free pool.
Yeah.
in,
free pool.
England, that's the same word.
Pool and
Oh
pole?
god.
Yeah.
Really?
What is wrong
Paul,
with them?
pool, and pole all pronounced the same way.
Not spelled the same.
No.
Okay.
That's what the guy named Paul who sat next
So
to
how
us
is
at the
it?
game said.
Pool?
Pole.
Pool?
Pole.
Oh, pole. Pole.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really hate that. I really hate that.
So Paul
Okay.
went to the pool with the pole?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Pull, just pull
Wow.
out at the pool.
Wow.
Wow.
Don't do that. That'll get you in
Wow.
trouble.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Okay. So anyways, it's going to be cold. Everyone's going to be fine. Well, at least we are.
I'm gonna be
Okay.
cold.
I'll be praying for
That's gonna be
lots
awful.
of other people.
That's true.
We're gonna
That's a
be
good
outside for like an hour that
No,
day.
you're not.
No. That is definitely an indoor day.
Yeah.
But
I
even
can
like-
guarantee it.
I mean, I guess that will definitely be indoors. And I guess the
Interviews will be
podium
indoors,
stuff will
I
be
guarantee
indoors.
Everything
you.
will be indoors.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be
Yeah.
like waiting for the locker room and stuff. That's
Oh, they'll
that's
freeze
rough.
us out for that. Yep.
Yep, that
love
will
to
be
do that.
terrible.
in the little pen.
Oh, we
Yep.
have 2 pens now. Yeah.
Yeah, we get double penned.
And they're like, hey, get here at 10, and then they just make us sit out there for 18 minutes.
They do.
Yep.
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 That's them showing us who's boss, and yeah, they're boss, I guess.
RG should bring the drone and just like get
Mm.
drone footage. I want like a time lapse of all the
That
meetings.
would actually be pretty good.
That drone would get shot out of the air as
It
well as
would.
RG.
Mm.
Yeah.
I saw a video
Well, he wouldn't be
this
in the air,
morning
but-
of a person who's trying to get drone footage of an alligator. They're just like hovering over it on the water, and the alligator just jumps out of the water and snags the drone.
Wow. Did they get the
Wow.
video footage of it from
no,
the drone?
Drone's gone.
Dang. It
I
wasn't
hope
like
the alligator's
automatically
mouth was okay.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Yeah.
Alligators.
Could have been a crocodile. I don't know. The difference.
It was an alligator, I'm sure, but they would be fine.
Those are spinning so fast.
Yeah,
They
but
can really hurt
alligators
you.
are pretty tough.
They are.
They've been
But
around
are
for
the inside of
millions
their
of years.
mouths tough?
Yes. You ever eat an alligator?
I have.
They taste pretty bad, but it's fun.
I don't think it tastes bad.
Really?
I bet it tastes like chicken, right?
You've had it, I think. We had it in
we
New Orleans,
did.
fried
Yes,
alligator.
Yes. If it's fried, it's
Fire.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Just salty then.
It had like a little spicy, like
Yeah, it was a sauce
aioli
that
on
made
there.
it. Yeah, it was so good.
Uh,
What was it? Where were we at?
Chalone?
Shalom?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
We'll
We
stick
got
with
it.
that.
Yeah.
Cachone.
Cachone, that's it. Yeah.
Anyways, Alabama. That's where Jerry Jeudy's
Alabama
It is where it's
and
from, yep.
alligators.
and Florida.
Probably
No,
all
no,
of
no.
those things
Florida.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just talking about Jerry Judy's like life.
from Florida.
Yeah.
Into Alabama.
Miami.
No,
Alligators
there's an A in
also
it.
but
born.
it doesn't. You don't hear. Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
You said Florida.
I thought that was like a duh joke, not
So-
a joke.
Jerry Jeudy has been the best player on the Broncos offense this season by a pretty wide margin. Fair to say.
Eh.
Oh, who's
Yeah.
in second?
Yeah.
I mean, Quinn Miners is right up there. I
Okay.
think Cortland.
If you want to look at stats, Cortland's there with Jerry.
Yep, it's just the touchdowns that's really the difference.
But
the most
Cortland did
important
all
thing.
of his work in like the first 3 weeks of the season.
It's
True.
true.
But
Yep,
again,
yep,
like
yep.
that's they also happen to win 2 of the first 3 games because he was doing that.
Yep.
You know, so it's not like that counts for nothing.
Greg Dulcich is
Missed too much
emerging
time.
into the
yeah.
conversation.
Yep.
He's 2 in and out.
Okay, so
I
we
agree
agree
with you.
that
Jay-
the answer
yes.
is yes, he's the best player on offense.
Yep.
but
Yep.
you
He's the
he has to
offensive
be.
MVP.
take issue with me saying far and away because I still think it's far and away.
I think it's a little closer, but yeah,
All
I
right.
get why you say
I
that.
think it's kind of far and away.
So the question is, this offseason, the Broncos have a decision to make.
Mm.
Do they want to pick up the 5th-year option on Jerry Jeudy's contract? And it seems obvious, but there's more. I guess there's more to the conversation than just is he good or is he not?
Right, and there are layers to this, and so just really quick because this 5th-year option thing's so weird. I don't really
is.
know why the NFL does it like this, other than just to mess with everyone. But this year, Jerry Jeudy's in his 3rd year.
Yep.
Next season, he's in his 4th year,
Adds
but
up.
before the 4th year starts, you have to pick up the 5th-year option. So this is something that'll happen right around May, I believe, is
Yep.
when the 5th-year option will have to be exercised. So they'll have to exercise it or not, and then regardless, he's still on the team next year. And then if they pick up the 5th-year option, he's on the team the following year. And there have been some changes to how the 5th-year option works. Now it's fully guaranteed. It used to be only guaranteed to injury. So if the Broncos pick this up next May, it means he's not only a Bronco next year, but he's guaranteed to be a Bronco the following year. So
Yep.
that's kind of a baseline for this conversation.
It really should be called the 5th-year gamble.
Oh, that would be great. But not if it's Justin Jefferson.
But you have
There's
to
no
decide
gamble
if you
there.
want to bet on that player to be good in their 5th year.
Yeah, but that like for some guys, there's no gamble.
Well,
It's
Justin
easy.
Jefferson, you should just, and this is gonna, I won't even say it because it's gonna be what the basis of this conversation is
Yep.
for me.
Okay, well, let's.
You shouldn't pick up the 5th-year option on Jefferson.
Ah, I like that.
Whoa.
You want to dive into that or wait for it for a second?
Well, no, because it's the same reason I think you shouldn't technically pick up the 5th-year option on Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, you shouldn't. I thought you said you should.
No, should I just dive in?
No. Really quick. Before you buy something, you have to know the price, right?
Yes.
And so you're
I
not
mean,
just going
Unless you're a
to.
baller.
That's really true.
Wow.
Broncos they're not baller category, are they?
No.
When you have a
Well,
salary,
from a money perspective.
when you have a budget, you can't be a baller.
True.
How
A
about
fake
that?
budget,
and
but a
the
budget
salary
nonetheless.
cap.
You
is
never
a-
heard of
is the
balling on
fake
a budget?
Yeah, no, not when you have Russell Wilson's contract.
That's true.
You can't.
You
do
already
that.
balled.
You balled.
So if I
No more balling.
Henry already knows what the 5th-year option
Yep.
price is, so it's not exactly fair. So I really want to ask you, Ryan, what would and Henry, you can answer this too, but what would your limit be for Jerry Jeudy's 5th-year option? Because obviously you're not just going to blindly pick it up if it's $30 million,
be
and
a
there
lot
are
of
some
money.
wide receiver contracts that are $30 million. But where would you be willing to go?
I don't know. 1 year, you want to keep him around, but you don't want to keep him around long term.
Yep.
20.
20 mil. Henry,
Yep.
what about you?
I don't think I could go quite to 20. I think I'd rather take the gamble. I think somewhere around like that 17, 18.
To me,
Okay.
it's all
Similar, though.
17
To me,
and a
there's
half.
like no difference between 15 and 17.
Okay, yeah, that's
You know
fair.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's either 15 or 20.
Well,
And I wasn't going to go as low as 15.
it doesn't matter whether it's 15, 17, 20. Jerry Jeudy, you are picking up the 5th-year option, and you are feeling very
Yes.
comfortable about that because of the new way that 5th-year options work. There's now
okay.
4 tiers to a 5th-year option. One, it's kind of messed up to call it this. It's called basic. That means you've done nothing according to the NFL rules. That's basic.
This is production based?
There's. Let me just explain the others.
Okay.
Then there's a playtime one where it's based on 3 different factors and how much you've played in the first 3 years before that 5th-year option has to be picked up. So basic is 12 million. Playtime is like 13.5 million, 14 million. If you make 1 Pro Bowl and not as an alternate on the original Pro Bowl ballot, that's like 15 million. And then if you make 2 Pro Bowls in your first 3 years, that's right around 18 million, I believe.
Okay.
Jerry Jeudy has not made 2 Pro Bowls. He has not made 1 Pro Bowl. He has not hit the
threshold,
playtime
okay.
threshold.
That's what I
So
didn't know.
Jerry
Yep.
Jeudy, according to 5th-year options, is basic, which is $12 million.
Easy peasy.
That is so easy. I honestly thought we were going to be going in this conversation. I was thinking it was be 17 to 19 million, and then it's like, okay, a little bit of a conversation there. I'm still picking it up then. So at 12, you got to be kidding.
Yeah. Okay. So this is actually changes the conversation a little bit from what I was about to say. But Justin Jefferson has made 2 Pro Bowls, right? So
Yep.
what is his?
I believe 18.
Yeah.
So the reason why I say you don't pick up the 5th-year option on Justin Jefferson is you just extend him before that you have to do that.
I disagree, though, because what you do is you pick up that option, and then you have a little bit of bargaining
Yep.
power because Justin Jefferson's going to be a $30 million a year
Yep.
guy.
Okay, that's fair. He shouldn't
Yep.
play on the 5th-year option.
Yeah, and he
True.
probably won't because then you're just messing with him, and
Right,
he's
that's what
a
I
guy
mean.
that
Is
you
like
want around.
if you let it go that far, then
Yeah.
you're giving him the opportunity to say, all right, well now I'm going to hit free agency.
Right.
Yep.
So yes, I agree with you. You extend him. Someone like that, you just pay him.
Exactly. Just
Yep.
he is the cornerstone of your offense for the next 4 years at the very least.
You know who also thinks that Justin Jefferson? Well, okay, you didn't say this, but you know who thinks Justin Jefferson's the best player in the NFL?
Henry.
I don't know about Henry.
No,
Henry
I don't.
knows this person.
No, I don't.
Henry and I were talking about Justin Jefferson versus Josh Allen, who's the better player in the NFL. And I said Josh Allen.
Wow. And because it's not who do you want.
Not
No.
who's most
Because
valuable.
it's
This
who's-
is a big point of contention for Henry.
Man.
Just who's better.
That's just too tough for me. I would have to go.
That's what everybody says.
What I said
Yeah.
was this conversation is not you can't win or lose, or
Yeah.
there's
No.
no way of saying
What you really
who's
said
right.
was you can't really have this conversation. To which I said, I've been yelling about this for a half hour.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can argue about it.
Yeah, it's just there's no way to put aside the value of quarterback.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
You can't.
Again, like you're making Madden ratings, you're giving out PFF grades. Justin Jefferson is better.
No.
Yes, he is.
It's
yes,
just,
he is.
It's impossible for me to even separate those two.
But
Yeah.
if you were like grading them, try it that way. You're just grading them as players out of 10.
Josh Allen gets the highest possible grade.
He's throwing picks. He's not Tom Brady. He's not
Justin
Patrick
Jefferson's
Mahomes.
dropped passes.
Oh my God.
Oh, he has
I'm
1,500
happy-
yards.
I'm happy Justin Jefferson's fine after that hit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that was tough.
He might have 2,000 this
Yeah,
year.
I mean, I guess Justin Jefferson's a
He's better.
better player at his position.
No, he's not.
Yes,
Because
he is.
I think Mahomes is better than Josh.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
says more about Mahomes than it says about Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is not like. There's
See,
Just
always.
because there's no Mahomes
You're
of
right.
what,
No, you're right.
but
you're right.
but before
yeah.
Mahomes, there was Peyton Manning and there's Tom Brady. Like Josh Allen is not that guy. He's really 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 good. Like
he is absolutely positively that guy.
he is. He's not a number one quarterback in the NFL. Like this league revolves around him, and the league
as-
always has one.
Because that's where I was going with you. I was like, okay, Justin Jefferson clear number one, but Ryan's point, just because there's no
Yeah.
one better than him doesn't mean that he can't get better.
It doesn't mean that he's better than Josh Allen.
Right. Oh, this is tough.
I do. Josh Allen. I mean, under 100 quarterback rating.
Yeah.
Like again,
Wait,
like it's
passer rating
yeah,
this year?
yeah,
No way.
yeah. It's because he throws those interceptions.
How many picks does he have?
11.
Wow.
He's no Russell Wilson.
Yeah, okay.
How many
This
touchdowns?
year it's Justin Jefferson.
30.
I'm sorry.
It is Justin Jefferson's
How many
better.
touchdowns does
30
Justin
touchdowns?
Jefferson have?
I actually don't know. Luckily, I know the internet password here again.
Guarantee you it's less
7.
than 1/3 of that. Yeah.
1623 yards.
Yeah.
So even if you minus all of the interceptions from the touchdown total, he still has more than twice as much.
But
Man,
again, it's not just
that's-
about touchdown. It's easier to get a touchdown as a quarterback. Much easier.
Sure.
Wow.
Justin Jefferson's a better football player.
Nope.
Give me Josh Allen though. Anyways, guess who?
Give me Josh Allen. Yeah.
Guess who says? Oh, there he goes. Give me Josh Allen.
I mean, yeah, if you want one on your team, you easily take Josh Allen. He's a quarterback.
Who do you think thinks Justin Jefferson's the best player in the NFL?
Oh, yeah.
Keep it very simple to this conversation.
George Payton.
Wow.
Probably.
I mean,
actually.
yeah.
No, Jerry Jeudy thinks Justin Jefferson's the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's an opinion you can have.
I think he might be right.
Anyways,
Better
Jerry
Josh
Jeudy.
Allen.
So you're paying him $12 million,
12.
It's a
You kidding
steal.
me?
and that makes it very obvious that you pick up the 5th-year option.
100%.
It also makes it more of a conversation as to whether or not you should extend him before. Because I personally think you should, but you're not going to get him at anywhere near that price.
Yeah.
Let's dive into that because I like where you're going. I think there might be a debate there, but first I got to tell you about our friends over at Breckenridge Brewery. Now is the time to get the Christmas ale, and you got to get it in the keg. The keg is meant for this week. It's meant for going to holiday parties, going over to celebrate the holidays with people, and you need to pick one up. What did we say it was? It was 12, 16 beers in a keg, in one of their kegs?
I think
it was 15.
15.
But it was like 18 pints.
No, it'd be less. Pints are less than...
Then it was like 11 pints.
I think that's right.
I think it was 15
I
pints.
think it was 11 and 15.
Okay.
That's like you're even nicer than bringing over a 12-pack to
Yeah.
someone's house, and it's different.
Unless
it's
it's a
fun,
12-pack
It
of
looks
pints.
cooler.
That's not a thing.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's not a thing. No, no. You
Well,
don't know.
then,
You don't know your sizes of beer.
I'll let you handle this
Yeah,
one.
Yeah, thank you. And if you want to find out where you can get this, go to breckbrew.com, find their beer locator, which will show you exactly where you can pick these up. I know they're in so many liquor stores across the country, so check them out. It's the official beer of DNVR and really the official beer of holiday season. So check them out, breckbrew.com.
You know what happens when it gets cold?
Things freeze.
Exactly. There's ice,
Okay?
which is slippery.
Uh-oh, here we go.
And if you
jeez.
slip on the ice, what are you going to want to have?
Health insurance.
Health insurance. And you can get that from our friends over at Denver Health Medical. Open enrollment is still going. You can sign up through January 15th. They have a bunch of different plans. They're available on the Connect 4 Health Marketplace. They have great benefits. They're affordable choices in there that comes with adult dental and adult vision and mental health benefits for the regular copay, all this sort of stuff. And like I said, it's some of the best valued plans on the market. Open enrollment for the exchange runs November 1st to January 15th. Call today at 303-602-4912 or visit www.denverhealthmedicalplan.org.
With one slight asterisk, I've never slipped and fallen on ice.
I have.
Give me the slight. How's there a slight asterisk? This is a pretty black and white deal.
So
Yeah.
here's the slight asterisk. It wasn't snowing,
Okay.
but it was like rain misting kind of.
Okay.
And there was no ice on the ground, so I would have never been able to know that ice was a possibility. But then, you know those metal grates that they put around trees on the sidewalks?
Yep.
Oh.
I stepped on one of those, which was frozen, and then I slipped and fell.
Yeah, you slipped on ice. That's what when there's water on the ground and it freezes over.
I was also really drunk.
Oh.
But that doesn't really matter.
Did it make the fall better though?
The point is, when that was a sneak attack.
Oh, so
This is like
you-
saying I've
that.
never got knocked out except for one time this guy jumped off of a second floor and punched me in the head and I got knocked out.
well, then you've been knocked
Yeah.
out. Pretty
But never
clear.
been knocked out in a fight.
I also,
Oh,
I mean, black ice is more common than guys jumping out of the second stories of buildings and punching you in the head.
Black ice, at least you still know it's cold enough for ice. It wasn't even snowing.
But wasn't this black ice?
But
'Cause you
that's
didn't
gonna
see
get you.
It was a sneak attack. That's exactly what black ice is.
No, I slipped on a slippery piece of metal.
But ice itself is not slippery. It's only slippery with a little bit of water on it.
Ice itself is slippery.
Well, it melts really easily if you step on it, so it feels slippery. But ice, no, it's just very smooth. The water or anything
Smooth
in between is what.
slippery.
Have you ever like walked on an ice rink?
Yes, because there's a thin layer of condensation on top. So, but
I
I
don't
can't
know
remember.
about
Yeah,
that.
no, but that's the point. It's not that it can be warm enough to rain.
Ice cube in your hand.
It
But
because it's melting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's melting. But is it slippery when it first touches you? No, it sticks to your skin. It's sticky when you first get an ice cube.
Wow.
So there you go. But the point is,
Scientists.
if it's raining, that makes the ice even more dangerous.
But there was no ice that anyone could be aware
Okay, well,
of.
apparently there was ice.
There was ice.
I'm saying I slipped on slippery metal.
He slipped on metal. You know what? You brought this up yourself.
I know.
You put yourself in this dangerous position.
I've never lost a fight to snow and ice.
I have. I got a concussion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you have insurance?
Can't remember.
Oh.
I'm sure I did. I'm sure I did. Everything was kind of a blur, though.
Anyways, if you slip and fall on the ice when it gets cold, you do want health insurance. You also probably just like want to come have a beer, like
It's true.
process what happened. So come to the DNVR bar. Tell me about how you slipped on ice. I'll be like, damn, that's crazy. I can't relate. But I'll buy you a beer and we can have a good time and chat it up about Denver sports.
Dang, there you go.
There we go. All right, let's move on.
We've had the weirdest debates so far.
Yeah.
So you said extend Jeudy.
Yes,
When?
as soon as possible.
So now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell me what the deal is.
I think that the sooner you do it, the better chance you have of getting it right around what you paid Cortland Sutton. Now, the hard part about this is you already have all of this other money tied up in wide receivers,
Right.
but one of those contracts is a bad contract. So you shouldn't use your own bad contracts to hurt your future rosters.
That's fair. Well, what's a bad contract?
Cortland Sutton,
Okay.
I mean,
really bad contract at this point.
is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not that far, but we ran through it a couple weeks ago, I guess. But like 26th highest paid. He's 29th in yards. Like stuff like that. I don't think it's terrible.
Okay.
Receivers are just expensive.
The thing is, you paid a lot of money for a guy who sometimes just doesn't even show up to the games.
Yeah.
He just can say he doesn't make plays is what it comes down to. Remember when he was the 90-10 throw a ball his way, a jump ball, he's going to come down with it. That was his Pro Bowl year.
Yep.
That's gone.
Yeah.
We have not seen that
Definitely.
last year. We have not seen this year. So that's one big playmaking thing. You know what else we haven't seen? Touchdowns, which is a
Yep.
big time playmaking thing. One since he signed his contract.
Yeah.
It's been over a year and he has one touchdown.
I don't even remember what the last game he played was because there's no difference between the games he plays and the games he doesn't at this point.
And that's just, unfortunately, that's not just looking at like the past 2 months. That's looking at not just this season, but all of last season. The cliff he fell off last year was terrible. So you're right in terms of just looking at the basic stats there, Henry. But I think
Because he has big, loud games.
Yeah.
But sometimes boom and bust can be better though. Really.
Why?
no,
just because-
not for a top receiver, not for a one receiver, which he is. He's
Maybe
being
it's
paid
more
like a
so
one.
just for a team like this, where if he can go get whatever 122 yards week 2 and you get the win, 97 the next week and you go and get the win, like
But tell me what number one receivers are boom or bust.
that is a tougher one.
Because that's what's so encouraging to me about Jerry Jeudy is he's actually been I think the last time he was under 50 yards when he played more than one play, so I'm putting the Tennessee game aside, was like week 2 or 3 when he had 17 yards. Every other game he's played in, he's had at least like 54 yards.
And his numbers when he gets 7 or more targets are crazy.
And what's crazy is they don't get him 7 or more targets often, which is wild. So that's why I'm seeing the floor really, really raise for Jerry Jeudy. And that is what's really encouraging to me because remember when his floor was 5 drops in a game?
Yeah.
And it's like, this guy's
6.
This guy's way too hit or miss. This season, he's become consistent, which has been really nice to see.
The thing about Jerry Jeudy is I know for a fact I can count on him to be open every week. There's not a single person in the league that if you match him up that you just say, oh, well, Jerry Jeudy's just going to get clamped today. It just doesn't exist. It's not a thing. Whereas Cortland Sutton, when he gets a bad matchup, like what were his numbers against Stephon Gilmore that day when Russell Wilson was just trying to force it to him because he was the number 1 wide receiver and Stephon Gilmore went crazy?
So against the Colts.
Yes.
Cortland you're talking about. Against the Colts, Cortland was he had 5 catches for 74 yards.
Okay, not bad. Actually, well, how many targets?
11.
11.
That's rough. That was kind of Russ's fault, though. But the point is, I cannot trust Courtland Sutton in any way, shape, or form. And so I can't make a decision about whether or not I'm going to give Jerry Jeudy a contract based on the contract that I, in my opinion, incorrectly gave to Courtland Sutton. If you do that, then all you're doing is hurting your team long term. And, you know, how long was the Courtland Sutton contract? Was it 4 years?
Yep. 4 years, 60.
Starting, when can you get out of it?
I believe if you move on after this year, it's $20 million in dead cap.
Okay, so you can't, you won't do that.
No, you won't.
But probably after next season then?
Yep, I believe so.
Again, 1 season of big overlap, which you don't necessarily have to do, but I would to get the discount on Jerry Jeudy.
Well, yeah, and Jerry's contract wouldn't kick in until at least the 5th year.
Right. So there you go.
Yeah.
Just depending on how you would, but you could structure it like
I'm
that.
trying to extend him as soon as I possibly can because I think that he is about to go on a hockey stick-esque curve and blow up. I think that you're gambling a little bit because of the immaturity issues that have happened. But he's just too good. He's too valuable. And I guess I think of it this way. How would you feel about Jerry Jeudy going to the Chiefs?
Yeah, it'd be scary.
It'd be bad.
Yeah. How would you feel about Jerry Jeudy going to the Chargers?
I wouldn't like it.
Yeah. Jerry Jeudy going to the Raiders?
Wouldn't like it.
Yeah. That's why you keep him.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't want him on any other team. So the problem is your team is the issue, not Jerry Jeudy.
But also, I don't want to commit to, like, the last thing I want to do right now is give out contracts to guys on this offense. Like, because you just need to be changing things. And I don't think Jerry's at the, like, toward the top of the list of things to change, but you only have so many options. And so I wouldn't give him the contract yet. You definitely take the option, but I mean, I might even be looking to trade him that year that he's on the option. See if you can move on if he's looking like he's going to be expensive or if he hasn't broken out.
If you're going to
yet.
let it get to that point, you probably should, because if you let him hit free agency, I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah, but I don't think he's taking a discount anyway. Though. Like the other thing is I don't think he's interested in a contract right now. Like
You don't think?
No, I think he'd be much happier playing for whatever 2 more years and hitting free agency. Just because I mean he does not think he is playing good football right now.
Yeah, but anyone in his corner would tell him trying to, especially with he's already been injured.
Yeah,
He's essentially, and that's my biggest reason why I would be a little bit weary of it. Is, you know, he's 1 injury away from being labeled an injury guy.
And that's kind of the thing with Jerry is we've seen him be injured every single year he's been in the NFL. So when you're putting together this contract, you have to say, okay, as a rookie, he played 74% of the offensive snaps. Last year, he played in 35% of the offensive snaps. Right now, I think he's at 54 of the offensive snaps. So you have to take that into account in terms of, okay, how much are you going to pay him knowing that he's going to miss some time?
Yeah, Andre in the comments says, let's not give up on Sutton too soon, almost like we did with Jeudy at one point. I'm not giving up on him. You're stuck with him for at least 1 more full year. So you don't have the option of giving up on him.
Right.
But if it goes another year with the disappearing act, then I will have given up on it.
And that's fair. And for me, right now, if you could sign Jerry Jeudy to a contract of where he is in the league right now, you do it. I agree with Hank, though. I don't think he's going to want to take it because when you look, Jerry Jeudy, in terms of catches, yards per game, he's in between like late 30s and 50s in terms of the league. So if you get him for that, then you're paying him $10 million. You do that for 4 years. You do it in a heartbeat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But why? I just don't think he's going to accept that. So I'm okay having him be on $12 million a year. That's a
definitely.
bargain for what he is, especially next year. He's going to be under that. Then that year he's going to be $12 million. And then I think probably right before the 5th year option kicks in is when you come to him and try to get a deal done.
The problem is, what if he goes for 1,200 yards next year?
Then you're going to be paying him a lot. You're going to be paying him $20 million.
Yeah, I mean, look
But
at Christian
that's the
Kirk.
thing is,
Yep.
exactly. And that's why right now he's asking for $20 million, I'm sure. I mean, they're not even talking about it. But if they were, that'd be the asking price.
Well, if that's the case, then you have no motivation to do it. I'm
Yeah.
saying I think you could get it for 15 or less right now, which is why I would go to him. And anyone in his corner would at least have to tell him, you have to think about this, because if you can lock up NFL money, you should do it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
2 years before you're going to get it, for what it's worth.
That's the thing, it's
if
just
you're
so much time.
If you have to survive, quote unquote, survive 7, 8, 9, even one season more of games before you get the true payday, then yeah, you should you should take your chances on that. But we're talking 34 games of football before you get a real payday. If they offer it to you right now, you have to at least think about it.
Yeah, and
I don't think he would. I'm just
all right.
Next year he's making 2.6 mil. So that is why he would accept it. Is if you said here's
3x, over 3x.
Here's you're just giving him 4 years 60 mil.
Or 5x, I mean.
4 years 60 mil, and you're saying what 35 of it's guaranteed at signing. So you just went from $2.5 million guaranteed to $35 million guaranteed.
Yep. But again, I mean,
Something you have to consider at the very least.
it's Jerry Jeudy though. Like that's the thing is like he thinks that he's one of the best receivers in the league and that he's gonna go off and put up the numbers. But his goal for the season was to lead the NFL in receiving. Like I just don't think he's at the point where he's willing to take a discount.
What if he doesn't believe in Russ, though?
Then I think he says, "Let me hit free agency, not sign me up for more."
What I'm saying is, then he's worried. How am I going to prove that if the quarterback sucks?
But I don't think he has to prove it. I think what he's doing right now. I mean that. So 12.
You think if he was a free agency this offseason, he could get $20 million a year?
Not 20. I think he'd come close though. It'd wind up like 18, 19. But again, like we're talking about 12 million. That would put him between Corey Davis and Michael Gallup. I think
I'm talking
unanimously.
about 15.
No, but I'm just saying,
okay.
for this right here, unanimously, I think that any team in the NFL would take Jerry Jeudy over Corey Davis.
Yes.
Oh,
definitely.
yeah. Of
And
course.
so that's
I don't
12
know about
million.
Michael Gallup, but definitely Corey Davis.
I would still take Jerry. And again, so like that's 12. At 15, it's probably a couple better guys, but somebody's going to bet on Jerry.
See, I think you're actually in a great position just riding it out where you are because next year Jerry's at $2 million. So for the next 2 years after this year, you have him for $15 million combined. So if you do have to pay him $20 million after that, well, then you say, okay, we kind of got to discount these past 2 years. And if he lives up to that $20 million contract, well, then you're okay with that because that means he turned into that great receiver that you wanted while you got to discount these next 2 years.
I don't know if this is just like the fatalist in me, but like I'm so confident that if he doesn't sign with the Broncos long term, he's going to end up on the Chiefs or the Chargers.
Man, not the Raiders though.
I don't see it with the Raiders. I don't know why, but I'm just like,
Devontae and Jerry
that would be ridiculous.
with Tom Brady.
The thing is, the Chiefs have a ton of ability to sign wide receivers. The Chargers have, Keenan. I don't know what his contract situation is, but feels like he's getting to the late stages of his career.
2 more years after this year.
Okay. All right. Well, that lines up pretty perfectly, right, with after the 5th year option. But God, that would just be brutal. Like, I feel like those teams have seen the tape up close and personal so many times that they're just like, this guy's always open. How come I never give him the ball?
Yep. It's I wouldn't be shocked to see that. I don't. You hope it doesn't get to that point because if it gets to that point and he's a highly sought after free agent, then what are the Broncos doing? I think if he turns out to be the guy, the Broncos are going to sign him, and you're not going to have to worry about it.
Fair enough. If they're questioning it, then yeah, you have 2 years to find out the answer,
right.
Or at least one and a little.
And then the gamble with that is if you want to see him play out these last 2 years, then you're going to have to pay him probably a lot more when that contract comes up.
And this is something we talked about in the John Elway era so many times. Don't wait until the last second to sign guys. It costs so much more. You have to deal with all the stress of do they want to stay, all this stuff. Like, extend your talent before they reach their peak value.
So this offseason, you're giving Jerry Jeudy a 4-year, $60 million extension.
I would.
I'm picking up his $12 million 5th-year option.
If he'd take that, I'd absolutely do it.
Okay.
4 for 60, I'd absolutely do it. But again, like that's the flip side of like everybody knows you should sign them before they get to free agency and do all that stuff. They know that too. They know
Most-
that that's why you think that, though.
Most guys don't turn down deals like that come across their desk.
So you're going to be paying 3 receivers next year, $40 million.
Not
Well,
Jerry.
no, Jerry's wouldn't kick in it because it'd be
No.
an extension.
Oh, will you be doing it
Yeah.
after that?
That's
See,
what. That's how. Yeah.
No, but I'm thinking for him, in order for him to get that, he's going to want the
He'll
$15
get a
million
big signing bonus.
next year, though.
get a-
He's
he'll
not,
get a
he's
big
not
He
gonna
would
walk
get the
away.
signing bonus.
But no, that's way too team friendly of a deal.
But I don't even think
He
you
for
can.
sure wouldn't do
I don't think
that.
you can renegotiate that 4th year though.
Yeah, after, excuse me, I believe you can after 3 years.
Okay. See, I thought you could only extend and add to the end of it. I didn't know that you could change that 4th year.
Maybe you could. I thought you could.
Yeah. I don't
It's
know.
I think it's undrafted guys that can get a new contract. And
After 2 years, undrafted guys
Okay.
can.
Yeah.
okay, all right. Well, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
I think I fear Henry's right though, in the sense that he would bet on himself, and I think he should, especially because it's not just potential now. Like I think a lot of people are like, well, Jerry still has to become that guy. Like he's that guy. It's all about just getting him the rock.
But again,
He's that. When you say he's that guy, what do you mean he's that guy?
He's the guy who can give you 100 yards a week if you give him the opportunity to.
but I mean, he hasn't hit 100 yards though this season, has he?
I believe week 1.
Oh, he did week 1, 102. But even like in this last stretch when they don't have other
They
receivers,
only
he's still not
targeted
getting
him 8
there.
times last week.
No, which doesn't make much sense, but he is the clear focal point of the offense. Like you have Brandon Johnson the week before going out there playing wide receiver 2, not catching a ball. Like they're
Yeah.
force feeding Jerry at this
I
point,
don't
as
know.
they
It's
should
like
be.
He's got 4 yards of separation on every play.
It's true. But again, like I don't think Cortland Sutton comes back and Tim Patrick comes back and you expect those numbers to go up. You know?
That's fair. That's fair. When I say that, I just mean like he is a wide receiver 1 in my opinion.
Okay.
It's up to you to get the production that you want out of him.
And is he a wide receiver 1 being the 25th best wide receiver 1?
No, that's where the potential comes in, right? I think in my opinion, he is a wide receiver 1. The room for improvement and interpretation comes for how high of a wide receiver 1.
Yeah,
is he.
and I'm right there with you. There's no question Jerry Jeudy is the best receiver on this team.
The potential to me is easily top 10. I'd have to go through one by one before I decided where he can fall in. Like he's not Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson. Like he's not in that conversation. But I think where he can get, where not even like I feel like I'm not even projecting. Like he's he's there. You just have
Really?
to throw it to him that much.
I'm not quite there. I still think the Broncos have 3 wide receiver 2s. And it'd be nice to have one clear dominant guy. And Jerry has a chance to get there still, but I think the gap between all 3 of them is not very big. And it's just tough to say with Tim Patrick.
Yeah.
Right today. If you're saying who would you rather have going forward, it's Jerry just because
The hard
he
thing
seems
is,
so capable.
The hard thing is it's like, okay, like the contested catches are obviously
He doesn't
a
do
big
that.
separating
Yeah.
factor for him. He's hardly ever contested because he's wide open.
Yeah, it's true. And that's just why I think paying him $2 million next year, $12 million the following year is great because you're
Yep.
paying him barely anything in order to, and where I already think he's your best wide receiver on the team. So for 15 years, for $7.5 million over the next 2 years each year, that's a great value.
Yeah.
Great value.
Yeah, they're kind of in a good
Hey.
position.
Yeah.
They're kind of in a good position
Yeah.
to do whatever they think is best. The one thing we haven't talked about in this conversation yet is the coaching staff and organization's feelings towards him, at least before the season, were not great.
Yep.
Maybe he's overcome that. I know Henry says he feels like he's seen him kind of mature a little bit.
And let's not forget about the off-field issue, which was this year that happened too.
Yeah.
I feel as though he's a rocket ship, just ready to take off.
So you're definitely at least picking up the 5th-year option.
That's
if he
a
won't
no-brainer.
accept that.
Yeah,
Yep, I completely agree. Man, that's an easy decision for the Broncos
Yeah, I'm like afraid of Jerry like demanding a trade, to be honest.
Yes.
after this year.
Yeah,
just because of the offensive situation.
Because I think he thinks
Yeah.
the only thing between me and superstardom is this
Yep.
shit offense.
What could you get for him?
A 2.
I think you say, hey, you can go ahead and demand this trade. You're not going anywhere.
Wow.
But I wouldn't settle for anything less than a 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
think
you're not
that's
getting
probably
that.
fair.
So then you're telling
You
him.
might.
No, I don't think so.
Well, you
Just
tell
look-
him, hey, you tell your agent if we can get a first round pick, we'll move you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no way.
Look where he is. See, and
Yeah.
it does have to be said, being in Denver, watching him, he is overvalued in Denver. I shouldn't say overvalued. He's more valued in Denver than outside right now
think
Really?
in terms of his trade value.
But I'm saying if you put Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in a room and you're
Yeah.
like, what's Jerry Jeudy's value? Like, I think they would say it's even higher than what we think it is.
But they would know that they don't have to give that up though.
No,
Because look around, and he's 55th in catches in the NFL this year.
yeah, I just don't think we overvalue him. I actually think he might be undervalued in Denver.
I think right now where he is, I think we think he's higher than the rest of the NFL values him.
I think
see what
maybe
you're
after
saying
like the
about his
last 2 weeks.
potential.
Maybe after the last 2 weeks, we are more here just because we've seen it. I do think he has a lot of national fans, though. Like, everybody knows who Jerry Jeudy is. I don't think anybody anywhere would be surprised if Jerry Jeudy turns out to be a star. But I do think these last 2 weeks, we've seen him take a step that nobody else paid attention
But
to.
how much do people know Jerry Jeudy from what he's done in the NFL? It's people know Jerry Jeudy for being a first-round
Yeah.
pick out of Alabama.
Let me ask you
such
this.
a dynamic offense.
Who is the best team in the NFL with the worst wide receiver one? Like, are there any teams that you can think of
Chiefs?
that are going to compete for a championship this year that don't have a wide receiver one?
Yeah, the Chiefs.
Okay. So would the Chiefs give up somewhere between pick 28 and 32 to have Jerry Jeudy on their team next year?
But see, I just don't think
I
they'll
don't
need
think
to.
so.
I don't think they would need to. They could give up a second. I don't think you're in the spot right now where you could remember Jerry
He's
Jeudy.
close.
And here's what I mean.
There's no
I
way they
feel
would
like
accept
I feel
pick
like
60 for
I
Jerry
feel like
Jeudy.
we're talking about Jerry Jeudy like he's this not 1,500-yard receiver, but 1,000-yard receiver. He's never been a 1,000-yard receiver, and
Yeah.
so that's kind of what I mean. Is like we're talking about him being this great guy, and he has the flashes and the talent and potential. But he hasn't even been a 1,000-yard receiver. You know how many 1,000-yard receivers there are?
There are a lot.
There's a ton. I mean, when Courtland Sutton was a Pro Bowler 1,000-yard receiver, he was like the 17th leading receiver
Yep.
in the NFL.
I'm
There are 9
curious,
already this year.
And this you can't do
9
this.
already this year.
You can't do this, but what is his per game average and how would that come out to over
You know what? It's not as good as you think, because I was surprised by that.
55
as well.
yards per game? So he's on pace for like 900.
But that's 100% healthy. That's
Which won't happen, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just what I'm saying.
just not
even
built for that.
even that, he's not a 1,000-yard guy. Now, again, I
What's he
agree
gonna
with you,
get,
Ryan.
though?
That
So
I
they-
agree with you that his I believe his ceiling and potential is way higher than that, and he's held himself back. The team, the offense, the quarterback has held him back from that too. But just keep that in mind when we're talking about what his value could be.
Yep.
So
and
he
also,
needs 237 yards over the last 3 games to hit 900. 337, of course, to hit 1,000.
yep.
His over-under at DraftKings was 900.5.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Wow.
that is wild.
So divided by 3, he needs to average 79 yards a game over the last 3.
So then his average would say that he's not going to.
Yep.
But maybe Courtland Sutton comes back. As we found out from Nathaniel Hackett, they're really hoping to get him back. If he comes back, maybe in a way that could help. I mean, you could build the argument either way. Courtland's going to take away targets from Jerry, or Courtland's going to take away attention from the defense to open up Jerry a little bit. But what should happen, I think we all agree with this, is Jerry Jeudy should stay at that X spot. See if Courtland can be a big slot receiver.
I want to see Jerry Jeudy get 12 targets in every game for the rest of the
Just keep moving him around.
I completely agree.
Yep.
He should get double-digit targets every single game, but he easily should have got that this past week too, and they didn't do that.
Can't
I
throw
know-
it to him if he's not open, though.
He's always open.
But they're double covering him and stuff. He's not. There's other guys open because of it.
Well, I love what they did the first play and the first 2 plays. The first play was just a quick pass to Jerry.
Yeah.
Just get him going. The second
Yep.
play was just
Little
another
spacing,
quick
yep.
pass to Jerry. They needed to continue to do that, and
Mm-hmm.
I really liked how they started, just kind of withered away.
Also, like 10 of the 21 completions were to running backs and tight ends
to be fair,
because they're open underneath because people are covering Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, Marlon, no other wide receiver had more than three catches in the game. So basically all of their designed, like they just didn't, they passed the ball. There was 21 receptions in the game. He had a third of them.
And jumping back, like the other thing I'll say about Jerry nationally is that he's one of those guys who, like his off-season like workouts wherever, like Bleacher Report's gonna tweet out, look at Jerry's feet, or he's gonna make a couple catches. Like Pro Football Focus will say like he's the first receiver to have this much separation. So he does show up.
That didn't happen this past offseason. That was really his momentum coming out of Alabama, being the first round.
I feel like you still hear it.
Not really.
But I mean, everybody still sees.
It's because we're surrounded by him. I don't think he's on that national scale. Like he's a 55th leading receiver.
He is,
in the NFL
but
right
I think
now.
he's treated a lot better than 54 and 56 probably.
Probably, but he's not
on the worst offense in the NFL.
But he's not up there with 10, is what I'm saying.
Right.
No, he's not way up at the top.
We were kind of mentioning around 10. That's maybe his potential. I'm just saying he's not close to that
What's
yet.
the difference, though, between being on the Broncos and the Chiefs in terms of production?
A ton, of course.
So
Of course
I
a
think
ton.
they look at him and say, this is a guy with 1,200-yard potential that we might be able to get for pick 30.
They'll say we can make him this, but right now we're going to buy low.
Well, they could try that, but if the Broncos are saying we're accepting nothing less than a first-round pick, I think the Chiefs would eventually take it.
If you put Jerry on the trade block,
For what it's worth,
you
I
would
do not want to
definitely
make
get a
that
second
trade.
offer to you. You would definitely get a second offer.
That's what I said. I think you would get a second.
I think there's a chance you
don't-
get a first.
Maybe.
I think that one of those teams, like the Chiefs, the Broncos should absolutely under no circumstances trade him to the Chiefs. One of those teams, though, would say, like, we will never get a player of this caliber with pick 27 at wide receiver.
And you look at wide receivers that have been drafted after 27, and how many of them are putting up 1,000-yard seasons?
But that's more about the offense than the player.
Not necessarily. I mean, Justin,
he's a part of the offense.
Look at Justin Jefferson the past 2 years. Literally, the Vikings had an average offense. They were the 16th scoring offense, and Justin Jefferson was still the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it's a chicken or egg conversation. Is Jerry Jeudy part of the problem, or is he part of the solution?
And I guess
Well, there
where
hasn't been a solution.
Where I disagree is I think people would want Jerry Jeudy in order to buy him low and then make him skyrocket.
The thing
I don't
is-
think they would
yeah.
be buying him high because of what they think he can become. They would want to take advantage of that.
Who are the
Broncos.
1,000-yard receivers?
Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown, Travis Kelce, Jalen Waddle, C.D. Lamb, and Terry McLaurin.
How many were there last year?
So
I can check.
I would take all those guys over Jerry.
Yes.
I would too. But my point is that you can't get any of those guys for a late first-round pick.
That is the thing. Late first could be buying low. Because what happens if
Okay, how many 1,000-yard receivers were there last year?
26?
26. So you're going to trade a first-round pick for a guy that's not even in the top 26?
Again, it's
I mean,
it's not because of the production.
It's more
If he had
about what you see
1,300
with
yards
your eyes on the field than what you see on the stat sheet.
Okay, and I think where we're not seeing the straight together is where I could see a team valuing Jerry with a late first-round pick, saying he would be worth this, but then saying we don't have to trade that for him because he doesn't have the production. They're not
But
going
the
to
Bro-
get
if
him.
the
might,
Broncos
though-
say we're not accepting anything
They're
less
getting
than
multiple
is someone
second
going to
round-
eventually say yes?
And you're
Well-
getting multiple second-round offers, I feel like. Like, there is some bidding, you know? Like,
if
you have to
multiple teams
outbid the
offer
other
second,
teams.
then you can turn back and say, all right, the first one to offer first gets him.
Sure,
So,
that
CeeDee
could
Lamb.
be the case. Why didn't that happen this year?
For the Broncos with Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah.
He was
Why
worse.
were they trying to trade it?
He was on the trade block. What was it? Not necessarily on the trade block, but there were rumors about who was it? Jerry. There was one other guy besides just Bradley Chubb. Who was it? We talked about it a lot. It was
did.
Jerry.
Reisner?
Yeah, I
He was
guess
close.
Reisner. And I guess the two big names were Jerry and Chubb.
I think and the Broncos probably said we're not trading him for less than a first. And
What you guys are saying is teams will then say we're going to trade him for a first.
Yeah,
and that didn't happen.
I just think
But-
that he's progressed
Exactly.
since then.
Yep. These last 3 games hadn't happened. And those are what? The 3 touchdown games is best of the season. 76 yards would be like his 4th best.
Yeah, I mean,
And
they're not
65.
like that much better.
No, they're not
than
like.
I mean, 3
everything
touchdowns
this
is-
season.
Yeah, exactly.
But
It
I
could
just
be the
think
difference.
now you've seen consistent production from him, which you hadn't seen before.
But
So-
you saw it for the first 10 games, 8 games of the season.
But he wasn't
where
consistent.
Yeah, he was. He was at 55. He had 11, 17, then 50, 50,
Yeah.
50, 50, 50.
But
That's
again,
consistent.
I think the 11 and 17, like those did happen. Like he disappeared in those 2 games.
But that's still in the conversation for if a team wanted to trade for him now.
Yes, but now he's not
He's
only
he's added
continues the consistency,
He's
but
added 3. He's added 3 more games. I don't think that makes the team go, "Whoa, we're not trading a first." Oh, we'd love to trade a first. I don't think 3 games.
3
does that,
touchdowns
guys.
though. Like
You also have
I
to
guess
consider
we're also
like, the
expecting
quality
to
of
keep it
wide
going.
receivers in this year's draft at the end of the first round.
They are good.
Who's going like
You've
who's
got
a late
the-
first round wide receiver?
Jackson Smith and Jigba is probably dropped down to that part.
Coming off an injury.
Egbuka, the other Ohio State guy. Quentin Johnson's probably gone by then.
Quentin Johnson there is getting mock top 10.
Yep, Jordan Addison would fall if that's the case though. Like you're going to have 5 or 6 guys in the first round.
I think that would be the conversation
Yep.
for those teams.
But
is,
also,
do we rather have Jackson Smith and Jigba coming off a knee injury or Jerry Jeudy?
And I think they would say they'd want the rookie.
I would take Smith and Jigba, but for what it's worth. But it's close. CeeDee Lamb though, he's closing in on 1,100 yards. He'll probably get like 1,250 this season. Same draft class.
Probably 1,300 if he's already 1,150.
Probably 1,300 then? Okay. So if they were to trade him this offseason, what do they get for CeeDee Lamb?
They get a first.
I think they get a first and more.
Yeah, at least
Yes.
a first, a good.
So
first.
like a first and a third maybe? First and a second maybe even, I think is probably a conversation.
Let me
But
ask,
that's why I think if that's the case,
But then
Jerry
how
is
many,
that
how many yards does Jerry have right now?
about half as many.
Okay, there you go. That's why there's
But-
such a massive
Exactly.
gap
but
between the
here's the
two.
conversation that would happen, and we're kind of going in circles in here
We are.
because. But the conversation that happens is if Jerry Jeudy gets drafted by the Cowboys and CeeDee Lamb gets drafted by the Broncos, what's the situation this year?
I think CD's better. I think CD has better numbers. But I don't think it's massively better.
I think CeeDee Lamb has similar, slightly better numbers with the Broncos, and Jerry Jeudy has very similar numbers for the Cowboys.
But Ryan, teams aren't gonna say, "Oh, we
I know.
love
That's
Jerry's
why we're
talent."
going.
Yeah.
That's why we're going in circles here
And that's
because
why he
you're
wasn't
saying they're not
traded
going to
for a
offer it.
first-round
I'm
pick
saying
this year.
you're saying they don't think they have to. I'm saying in a world where they have to, I think they'd give it up.
And I think
Would you take the 30th pick for Jerry this year?
No.
yes.
With the way the Broncos have constructed that receiver room, I would.
Yep.
And I think it's
What? Oh, God.
it's a bummer, but you paid Tim and you paid Cortland, and you need offensive line help.
Yeah. Congratulations. You now have 2 wide receivers who can't separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you need offensive line help, and so if you get a 1, I think you do it. But
I think
you
I
get a
think
1.
I would. It would be sad, but I think I would do it.
You trade Cortland Sutton for a third.
Yep. 'Cause then it allows you to keep
I
Jerry.
don't think so. I mean,
I don't think you're getting a second. So,
I don't
you're
think so
not,
either.
no.
And that's why, like, I don't think I would take a third.
although you maybe could get a. I mean, he was drafted in the second. Has definitely lived up to that.
And the Broncos would
more.
have to eat so much of that contract by trading him. They'd actually be a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Like, they basically get him at half price.
I'd rather do that over trading Jerry for a first and so much. So much.
Wow, we just talked a lot about money. You can win money over with our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. Did you guys win any money last night?
No.
I didn't make any bets last night.
No bets?
No.
I don't believe you.
I didn't.
You're a liar.
I didn't have any.
Wow.
I was like kind of on a heater,
Yeah.
and I was like, conservation of greatness.
There you
know?
go.
Like,
So you're feeling
waste
good
the
going
heater
into
on
Tuesday.
something good. on
Anything
something
tonight?
bad.
You gonna
What's
try to
the-
keep the streak going tonight?
Yeah, I'm just gonna hammer bets on Nikola Jokic.
There you go.
Oh.
Yep.
That
Nuggets.
game's going to be so fun.
So you like points?
Points.
You like rebounds? You like assists? You like triple doubles?
Yep, all of that.
Yep, all of it.
I'll probably go points, assists, rebounds. I've decided this is the most fun bet you can possibly make while watching a Nuggets game because Nikola Jokic is involved in everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then every time something happens, you're like, oh, I got a thing.
Right.
You know,
right,
like,
right. But you don't parlay them. You do them all separate.
I do them separately. Parlaying them would be
No, I kind of
Kinda
like
fun.
that though, because all you have to do is hit two.
Well,
Two of
and-
the 3.
I also mean you can just bet on his combination. So it'll be like 46.5 points, assists, rebounds.
Right. Yeah, the combos, those are fun.
Yeah.
And that's just some of the things that DraftKings Sportsbook has over there. They have so much going on. You need to get in. And when you use the code DNVR to sign up over at DraftKings Sportsbook, you will place a $5 money line bet on any NFL game money line. And if that team wins, you get $150 free in your account, plus all of the winnings off of that bet. What'd you find?
Nikola Jokic and Ja Morant to combine for 55-plus points, boosted to plus 125. The Nuggets cannot guard Ja Morant. So he might get 55 alone.
It is possible.
So you need 30 and 25, essentially.
Yeah.
What was it at?
If the Nuggets could hold Ja Morant to 30, they win the game.
Do you know what it was boosted from?
And
the minus, it has to be, I bet.
It actually doesn't say what it's boosted
But
from.
dang, there you go. There's something to bet on tonight, and then this weekend you can bet on NFL football. So check them out at DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR and make sure to see our show notes for details.
And also, so here's the thing. My girlfriend's friends are still in town, and they keep asking, what should we do tonight? And I just say, like, I don't really know. Like, we've tried going to bars, like the normal things that people do.
Was it
like,
unsuccessful?
I mean, no, it was successful. We went to the bar. We went to the bar, had a bunch of beers.
Could you not? Did you forget your ID?
Oh, I would never. But
because I know they're carding you.
But then they do. They ask, like, what do you do? And it's just like, well, I go to the Nuggets games. That's what I do. But they're not huge basketball people.
Then you're not going to Nuggets.
I know, but I'm kind of hoping that everything's gonna fall through and we're gonna go out to dinner. And if that's the case, we're gonna use game time.
8 o'clock game too.
I know, it's perfect.
Means you can just wait and wait and wait. On
Exactly.
Game time.
Or you can just play Madden with them.
I think they like that even less.
Yeah, probably.
Would be my guess.
Yeah.
Damn.
Would be my guess. I know. But
it's not all that cheap. This game's got some juice.
Well, it definitely has juice. This is like a national broadcast, which are actually the best games to go to because that's when they do all the crazy timeout stuff. Like
you might get
the Rocky Marathon.
Oh, I was gonna say, what's the lady who juggles the Red Panda?
Yeah, it could be Red Panda because there's so many timeouts, and the timeouts are like twice as long or whatever for the national TV games, and so it actually it makes a difference during the game, which is
More
weird.
of an event.
Yeah, but the reason
See,
is,
you're building
I
the reason to sell them on.
I know,
like
exactly. It's the number 1 team in the West against the number 2 team in the West.
Winner takes one.
Winner takes one, don't they?
Yeah.
That is crazy. Nikola Jokic is doing insane things. And $75, 12th row behind the basket. Not a bad deal. And that's with the fees. Get in for $25. Like the little balcony seats, those are the way to do it. Like the odd numbers in the 300s. $37. That's a steal.
Allie, I want to go to the Nuggets game.
Well, let's start looking at 6 tickets. Oh my God. Why are you Christmas shopping? It's December 20th.
We could do
That-
Christmas
it's a
shopping
November
at Altitude
event.
Authentics.
I have a discount. Season ticket member.
Let's go.
Uh-huh.
Let's go.
Yes. Game time, though. It's awesome. Use the link in our YouTube description. Use the link in the podcast description. That way we get credit. It's really cool stuff and the very best prices for events everywhere.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. There is something else we're just as excited to tell you about as
Sorry,
well.
I got really caught up looking at Nuggets
I'm
tickets.
sure.
Yeah, I mean it's something to get caught up. Something else you can get caught up with is our friends over at the American Raptors.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
If you want tickets to that, they're free.
What a steal.
FREE.
You know, all you got to do is go to AmericanRaptors.com, their website. Not only can you go to the games for free, you can watch the games for free on their website.
Yep.
And it's kind of exciting. Like, this is one of those things where I think if you follow the storylines of the American Raptors, like, it would be really easy for you to become a big fan. Because all of these guys are coming in. They have so much athleticism, so much ability. They're learning the game with each passing moment. And eventually, one of them might become a superstar on the American national team. So check out the American Raptors. Go to their website to watch the games for free or go to the games for free.
And shout out to everyone tuning in, whether you're live on YouTube, whether you're listening on the podcast. And I do see the chat is kind of popping off, but not enough likes. If you hit us with a thumbs up, it'll help the chat pop off even more, and it helps us. We really appreciate it. And as Ryan says, throwing a like, hell yeah. But as Ryan says, throwing a like does not mean you're supporting a 4-10 team. It means you're supporting us, and we really appreciate that.
means they're supporting Jerry Jeudy. being good.
Wow.
Jerry Jeudy getting $12 million fifth-year option picked up.
It's a
Bargains.
steal. Also,
It is.
So
Like
we
a
talked
game
about
time level discount.
there's like the playing time bonus. So if you have 75% snaps or whatever, you mentioned this earlier. He had 74 point something as a rookie.
Yep.
Like that is the difference, is that he didn't play like 5 more snaps his rookie year.
Yep.
Do you think the Broncos knew that?
So he would have had to do that twice, and
Yep.
he didn't do it last year. And I don't think he's going to do it this year because he's at like 55. But that is a
But-
really interesting question, though, Ryan. Going into that last game, is it's like, hey, why don't you just keep Jerry off for 5 extra plays?
You're just like, hey, we're gonna run the ball in those plays.
He's literally at like 74.9 or something.
Yeah.
That's not an accident.
But I mean, also if he plays, he's going to play pretty close to every snap the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
I don't think that's enough to get to 75, but it could come close.
Doesn't matter since they saved it that
Does not
first
matter.
year.
Yep.
Does not matter.
He should get 75 targets a game.
Yes, 75
Wow.
targets over the next 3 games. Count me in. 25 targets
Oh.
a game.
I wonder
Yes,
what the most
please.
targets in a game is.
Well, it's probably that Brandon Marshall game.
22
21 catches.
21 catches.
I don't think anyone. I mean, he probably had a couple that went towards him that didn't. I would assume he had 25 targets in that game.
Like you look at 21 catches and say, well, there have to be more targets. But also you look at 21 catches and think, there's no way he let a ball go by him if he had 21 catches.
Fair.
So I
That
don't
is
know.
just insane to think about. 21 catches in a game.
Jerry Jeudy could do it every week.
Wow. They don't even run enough plays.
That's true. That is true.
They really don't. Brett Rippon threw the ball 26 times last week.
How many times they run?
24.
24?
So they dropped back because he got sacked 7 times.
Oh, that's
So
true.
they ran, I think, 34, and he dropped back 33.
I want to. This is not scientific, but I want to go watch the all 22 and just chart how many times they threw the ball where if they were just looking right at Jerry off the snap, if he would have been open.
Brandon
Yeah.
Marshall has 2 games where he was targeted 20 or more times.
Yeah, because he had an 18 catch game, right?
He had an 18 catch game, 166 yards. Guess how many times he was targeted in the 21 catch game?
24.
I'm gonna say 25.
28. 28 times. But you look at
They
this.
targeted Brandon Marshall more in that game than they threw the ball total last week.
It's crazy.
It is insane how many games Brandon Marshall had double-digit targets. It's insane how many games he had 11 targets, 12 targets, 13 targets. I mean, over 10 games where he had 13 targets. Right around 10 games of 14 targets. He had 3 15-target games, 4 16-target games, 4 17-target games, 3 18-target games.
That's
I
what a
mean-
real number 1 looks like.
Yeah,
That's true.
Your offense is, can we get the ball to Brandon Marshall? Oh, no? Then we do something else.
Brandon
Right,
Marshall is one of the more underrated players in Broncos history.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
Like in the best Broncos receiver of all time conversation, to me, it's Demaryius number 1, Rod Smith number 2, and then like he's in the conversation.
Man, what if he stayed around for Peyton?
Insanity.
Yeah.
That would be.
Insanity.
But he also went and played with Cuddy, who is like his boy.
Yeah, it's true. What if he comes back with Russ? He was working out with Russ earlier this offseason.
I mean,
He might be about done.
yeah. It's funny though if you go back and watch that game against the Colts with the insane catch number. So much of it is so easy because Kyle Orton is just like, yep. If you're not going to press up on him, I'm throwing it to him.
Right.
And it's like, oh, if you are going to press up on him, then we'll just audible into a go and he'll be open or go back shoulder, come back. Like he's uncoverable just like Jerry.
His body took so many hits too, because it just you had to have 2 people to take him down.
Yeah, that's the tough part.
Man, and he was still getting all of those targets.
Insane.
That's
Reminds
just
me of when I
insane.
had Drake London in the Madden League.
I'm on the verge of maybe some big deals, but I don't know which one I should do.
Oh.
It's tough. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, because you put number 7 up on
Yep,
the block.
I did.
Wow.
People like it.
People like number
Damn.
7.
I know. I'm not sure where to go.
I mean, number 7, you're going to get like a top
7.
3 defensive player. Probably.
Yeah, and then it means you have to
Yeah.
develop them, and I'm not very good at that, so I might as well just get the sure thing.
Just yeah,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Trade
Yeah.
for a beast.
Yep.
Shall we hop into the comment section?
Let's do
Talk to
it.
the
Do
people.
we
I
have
think
any
we have
super
super
chats?
chat.
All right, just one from.
Huzzah!
See, that's confusing. Why does it say his name twice? You know?
Oh, up top. And,
Yeah, exactly.
He
Yeah.
says, "Huzzah! 17 mil."
Yeah, crazy enough, it's not actually 17 mil.
Yeah. That was the number he would pay.
That was like his.
Oh,
first
that was the number
conversation,
you'd
yep.
pay. Yep. Well, then
Yep.
you get Jerry at a discount.
That's a steal.
50% off, right?
Yeah.
Christian Kirk's making $20 million, right?
I think he's at
Or is it even
18.
more? Oh, I thought it was like
19.
22. Is Christian Kirk living up to that because he's got Trev?
Let's see what his numbers are.
Christian Kirk's at 18.
He's not in the 1,000 yards already conversation.
That is true. I think he's had a couple of big games. Right now, Christian Kirk, 966.
Okay.
Yep.
So he'll be in the 1,000-yard conversation.
But no, he's not living up to the
So just like
7
contract.
touchdowns.
looking through these, so 18 for Christian Kirk, 18 for Kenny Golladay, 18.3 for Deontay Johnson, 19.2 for Michael Thomas, 19.8 for Brandon Cooks, 20 for Godwin, 20 for Mike Williams, 20 for Amari Cooper, 20 for Keenan Allen, 20 for DJ Moore.
Michael Thomas, holy cow.
Yeah.
That guy's just been raking in money the past couple
Yep.
years.
He has.
Yeah,
But
and that's
again,
why I said 20 for my, like, what's the
Yeah.
peak I would
Yeah.
give Jerry for that 1 year, 5th year option. You're getting it for basically
that was the
half.
peak.
Yep, exactly. All right, let's hop into the comment section from 805 Broncos says, dude, Henry, love you
Oh,
on the
no.
pod. You had huge shoes to fill when the legend Mace
Oh,
left,
good.
and you're crushing it.
Let's go.
But,
Oh, I thought so. Damn it. I knew from the start.
bro, what's with all the negativity recently?
Oh,
he's
Who
a
yeah.
hurt
broken man.
you? Are you okay? I know we're all hurt
Broncos
by
hurt
how
him.
this season has played out,
Yeah.
but man, let's at least recognize the little bit of life this team has showed the last couple of games. Of course, the offense took a step in the right direction. They finally scored multiple touchdowns in back-to-back games, even with the backup quarterback and practice squad offensive line. The defense put them in a good spot. So what? They have been all season. The offense never capitalized until the last 2 games. They played a bad defense. Who cares? They have played multiple terrible defenses and had nothing to show for it until recently. They're still far away from what we expected, but for one, am happy that we finally seeing some positives from this offense. Hopefully it continues and we get to see a few more victories so Henry can tell us all how bad they looked.
I mean, I was the most excited still when they started 2-1, even when it was ugly. The difference is now, like, it just doesn't matter. Like, it just doesn't. Like, there's nothing you can take from that game because that offense isn't even what the offense is. Like, it's just guys who are wearing the Broncos jersey for half that team.
There's a very simple question to the really simple answer to the real question in that comment, which was who hurt you? And the answer is the Denver Broncos.
Exactly.
That's
pretty
very
easy.
true.
Next one's from Marvada Luke. He says, hey. So good to see fullback getting work in this offense. Maybe an endangered species, but I think that an underestimation is exactly why they work. You know what? I don't have any facts to back this up, but I'm pretty sure every touchdown the Broncos have run the ball inside the 5 this year, there was a fullback on the field.
Important then.
I believe it.
And there should always be one. And I think they should upgrade the fullback position this offseason.
Get a real fullback
Yeah.
is what you would say?
It sounds nice, but they're just like, there's like 7 fullbacks in the NFL, and teams don't really move on from them.
I know, it's really annoying.
Like, you can't just like,
Broncos moved on from Jano.
they did.
And now he's a free
now
agent.
look. Yeah, there he is a free agent.
Kari Blazing game was available this offseason.
Which one is he? He's like the back end of the 8 though.
Yeah.
Would you trade a first for use check?
No.
He's too old. If he were younger, you could tempt me.
No.
I'm
no,
kidding
no,
about
no,
him.
I mean-
oh my
no,
goodness.
I mean,
No.
they just need a receiving back so bad.
Is there any? There's got to be one good one in college football.
You would think, yeah.
I don't know. I
Maybe
mean,
not in
every
college
year there's
football.
like one that everybody signs. Like last year's Ben Mason.
What about the dude
And
from
it's like, is Ben
Michigan
Mason
State?
actually any good?
Remember, he was good. He was blocking for Kenneth Walker.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to go up north. Wisconsin, Michigan State.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But like,
Anyways,
does
he's-
Ben Mason even play? Because he was like the big one last year.
I don't
This-
remember him. I just remember the Michigan State kid.
He was the Michigan one.
Okay.
Unless that's what you're thinking. No.
No.
Yeah, 5th round pick.
Michigan State kid. His like brothers in the NFL. I think it was Hayward. Something Connor Hayward.
Huh.
There you go.
So Ben Mason though, 5th round pick. He's on the practice squad for the Ravens.
Yeah.
You could sign him if you wanted.
Yep.
Juicy.
And Anyways, he says, never bad to have an extra blocker. Anyway, that ragtag group of offensive linemen made J.J. Watt look a decade younger. Speaking of going all out, building the offensive side of the ball, we're last in points per game on offense, third in points per game allowed on defense. If you flip that and the Broncos were third in points per game on offense and last in points allowed, we'd be averaging 28.8 points against 26.6 points allowed. I don't care if our record would be the same. That is way more digestible on the field product. If those are our numbers, no one is calling for Ejiro Evero's job. I think they probably would.
They would.
Yeah, definitely be calling for it.
Giving up 26 points per game?
Yeah.
With this defense.
Is Vance Joseph getting his job called for?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
to put that in perspective, Vance is giving up 1 more point per game, and that's worst in the NFL. So, yeah.
Well,
And Evero would be he would have a lot more talent too.
Right.
You're saying like you're wasting.
He probably wouldn't have even survived this long.
No.
I don't know. Yes, I agree, but the Cardinals have a lot of talent on defense.
Yeah, but I mean, you like look at it, like Isaiah Simmons, but it's not like he's actually that good.
Or
it's just that
Collins.
he's
Zaven Collins, JJ
Byron
Exactly.
Murphy, Buda
Exactly.
Baker,
Buda.
JJ Watt.
Yeah, exactly. See?
Yeah,
They have no
I
pass
guess
rush outside of JJ when he has good games.
Yeah.
you could like say like, well, Vance Joseph, you're the reason these guys didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Like
A lot of
Zaven
people feel
Collins
that way.
should be,
A lot of people feel that
which is like what you do when
Yeah.
it's part of the coping for missing on first round draft picks. I think.
Yeah, for
Isaiah
sure.
Simmons,
That's a big
though,
coping
like,
thing.
seemed
Yeah.
like such a sure thing. I know that we can be wrong about these things, but like defensive sure things usually work.
And then the next year you have Micah Parsons come out and what's supposed to be like a very similar hybrid type of role player, and then he actually did work out.
He did.
And he was a less touted prospect than Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah.
Isaiah Simmons was
yeah.
what, the 7th, 8th pick in the draft,
Yeah.
and Parsons was 11th.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Coach Tobin says, hey guy. Did I miss anything from that? No.
Nope, you're good.
Hey guys. I just missed commenting. I wanted to say hello. You guys are killing it. That's all.
Oh, I
Hello.
love it. Thanks, Coach Tobin. We love hearing from you. And final one coming in from Dan Burke says, hey, guys, so it's not a high bar to clear, obviously, but are we ready to say that Mathis is the best mid-round corner draft pick in recent memory? Feels like he's already surpassed Yadam and Ojemudia and is probably already better on defense than Kayvon Webster was.
Oh, my God.
That is wow.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready.
No, all of those guys have had, like, moments. I just need to see a second year of production before I say that.
What was the list again?
Isaac Yadam
So he's better than him.
and Ojemudia.
Better than him.
And Kayvon Webster.
And Kayvon Webster was only good special teams.
No, but his first year he was a starter.
But then there was a reason he was not.
But
He was that year was not as good as Damari's.
I've seen this story where the hype builds and builds and builds, and then they just somehow go backwards the second year.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm not saying he's a lock, but I don't think the bar's that hard to clear.
Exactly.
Like Ojemudia looked solid his first year. He had some like really
He got
bad
torched
moments.
a few times. Yeah.
by like Julio Jones.
Right.
Yeah. The guys are getting behind him fairly often. I was still excited.
Yeah, I really like Damari. I don't want to take
Yeah.
anything away from him. I'm just like, I feel like the position is cursed. I want to make sure the curse is lifted before I say anything.
Yeah, I mean, what we learned today was Ryan thinks Jerry Jeudy's the #1 receiver in the NFL, and he hates Damari Mathis.
Wow.
I don't think
That's crazy.
even if you were taking my words completely out of context, I don't even think you could say that I said he was the ninth best receiver in the NFL.
Ryan said he was the top 10 receiver in the NFL.
I remember
You
that.
heard that,
Well, and then after that, he
Yeah.
said top 5.
He
Yeah,
should be.
That's true. Yeah, there we go.
He should be.
We just convinced him of that.
Wow.
25 targets this week. See what happens.
Let's go, but make it 28.
Sure, 28 targets. I bet you get 21 receptions for over 200 yards and multiple
So
touchdowns.
he's better
Wow.
than Brandon Marshall is what
Better
I'm
than
hearing.
Brandon
Yep,
Marshall?
Yep. And look, we got the porn bots. That means we should shut it down.
That's time to go.
Ah.
All right, well, throw the ball to Jerry Jeudy. That's all I have to say other than hell yeah. We'll see you guys tomorrow.